Well, hello, 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 my friends. I'm so pleased that you can join me today for the next cast. I want to apologize for not coming on sooner. I've been very, very busy. I've been busy taking care of business. In other words, looking at my life, re-coordinating some things, making sure that I'm not over emphasizing things that ought not to be overemphasized and all that. You know, the thing that senior citizens do. Thank you for coming to my YouTube page. What I'd like to do, PJ's uh, Confessions of 2024. And it is just a beautiful day outside. For those of you that are not in Southern California, you don't believe me, I'm gonna change it and turn the camera around and so that you can basically see what um, I am looking at here in Los Angeles as I speak with you. It's kind of nice to do this. It is a beautiful day outside, just beautiful. And the sun is coming in, and I have a light overhead, so it's kind of distorted, so you can't see it to that capacity. But it's beautiful outside. The sun is shining, and it's perfect scene for my little studio here. And I'm glad that you can join me. Let me balance everything. Hey, Mark, thank you for joining me. What I thought that I'd do today, my confessions. I was watching my page. You know by now that I have a YouTube page. And I look at some of the clips. And I was looking at a particular series. Let me see if I can pick it up on my iPad here because I was watching on an iPad and I was looking at, from my YouTube page, from my videos, Trials Defined. I think that was one, and some other messages on hermeneutics and on discernment, how to discern certain things. And I was looking at my videos and I said to myself, my God, I haven't changed over the years. I still hold to, in a very real way, the important things that made my life important. YouTube had set up my videos in such a way that when part one came on, then part two, then part three, and I was in the kitchen preparing a little toast and coffee for breakfast, and I was watching these clips. And I said, oh my God, this is good stuff. Because a friend of mine told me that there is a certain prison in Alabama that the chaplain or somebody in the prison shows the prisoners my channel on Sunday, and the prisoners overwhelmingly choose to listen to me preach than any other preacher because, as I heard one prisoner say, it was greed and the love of money that got me put in this place. And so, who's going to talk to me and make sure that I don't end up back in this place when I get out of prison? And I've been speaking with another person that is from my city that's in prison that'll be getting out in a few months. And I've been telling him that he has to think differently about the society that he went to prison in while he was free, because that society does not exist anymore. And he was asking me what I meant. And I said, to keep it plain and clear, this society is different. It's changed immensely. You won't recognize it. I said, not only the cell phones and the artificial intelligence, but basically the way people think. Absolutely, Mark. I had no idea that, when I put those things up, that people would be listening to them. And many of our men, Black men, Hispanic men, a lot of men are incarcerated. And I found it interesting because YouTube is a big engine. And whenever you look at one kind of clip, it connects you to another clip. And what they graciously did is, right after a series of my clips showed, Charles Stanley, the late Charles Stanley, the pastor of First Baptist in Atlanta, Georgia, a good number of years ago when I was a younger Christian, his clips come on right after mine. And Charles passed away. But Charles is a brilliant preacher. As a matter of fact, I listened to him, even made contributions to In Touch. I sent him a tape once and told him that I really appreciated the way he speaks logical theology to the people that he teaches. I found that to be extraordinary. But anyhow, let me tell you why I'm talking about what I'm talking about today. Though I have in the introduction, a lot of people think that I, PJ, have changed my. Oh, and to prove that Charles Stanley was a. Let's see, I have his book, How to Listen to God. You ever want to find a text out there that is worth the reading, you got to get this book. This book is marvelous. Did I have anything marked here? Let's see. What did I have underlined? Yeah. Now, this is a good sentence right here. God never says anything unless it is important and worth remembering. Right. And every time I prepared a lecture, a sermon, a teaching, I knew that lecture, sermon, Harcourt, leave the dog alone. You didn't want to be, wait a minute. Let me let my dog out. Let me let him out because, I see you're going to interfere. No, I'm not going to give you a stick bone. He's a beggy poo. I want you to get out of here. Go on. Go sit down. He sensed another dog owner walking him down the street, and he wanted to play with him. But I was listening to all of these things all morning, and there was a person visiting me for a couple of days. Kind of everything went crazy in his life. And so I said, there's a couch. You can sleep on that until you get everything together in your head, what you're going to do, because life is rough. That's what I do. I'm still a pastor. I still minister to people's lives. And I was listening to I was listening to Charles Stanley's clips after YouTube had played mine. And I said, wow. Just like Mark said, there are still people listening to what preachers like myself and Charles Stanley had said. I'm retired, and Charles is transitioned on to the other side, but his words ring loud and clear in my conscience because they're true. And I wanted to share with you where I've changed in my faith. And I'm speaking specifically to the young man who believes that God has called him to preach. And I want you to listen to me. Listen to PJ. Being a man of God does not exempt you from wrestling with the questions of life. I have always been a man that thinks seriously about right and wrong. What is right? What is wrong? Based upon what? How do I come to these conclusions of right and wrong? I recall when a young man, me, in my 20s, after I'd married Lucy, discussing with God almost every morning in the bathroom as I shaved to get ready to go to work. I would ask God why. This is after I was a pastor. I'd ask God why. Why did you call me? Oh, it's getting warm in here. I'm going to have to take off this shirt because it's usually cool in the mornings and now it's warming up. And I know that I'm going to get warmer as I get into this discussion. So let me get comfortable. I hope it's not offensive to you, my friends. You get comfortable, don't you? Can't have a reasonable discussion unless you get comfortable. Oh, that scar is where I had my open heart surgery. I've been through trials. I've been through trials and tribulation. Don't get it twisted. I'm not this man that has never experienced anything. I'm not like these youngsters. Oh, did it hurt? No, you're totally unconscious. But when they went into me, hey, me is still here. Me is looking at you. You young people, I got something to tell you. You will have difficulties in life. Mark is still on with me. Mark, as you live, you will experience tribulation. You will. There's no way to get around it. There's going to be difficulty coming in your life. You guys that are prisoners in the prison that listen to me, Pastor John hasn't changed. There are certain things about the Bible I no longer believe because through research and time, it has been proven to me that it doesn't make any sense. Now, let me share with you. In our country today, where I've shifted, and when I was a preacher preaching the word of God, I never have this discussion, not only behind the pulpit, nor in the classroom, have I discussed what a lot of people call deviant behavior. It's not deviant behavior. What I think is deviant behavior is if a man or a grown woman, a grown man or an adult, or an older person sexually touches these children and youngsters or people that are mentally challenged and people that are sex trafficking other people. I am totally against that. I believe in lock them up in a cell and throw away the key. But what I do believe is it two grown individuals who has thought about themselves. And it's interesting because after I got through looking at one of my messages, Charles Stanley had a message that came on right after my clips talking about the difference between love and lust. And it was an excellent lecture. What he caused me to do is today to look at my life and say, do I view my sexuality and the way I feel about sex as lust? I had to seriously look deep within myself. Uh, do I feel like that? Um, yeah, Mark. Mark said that he's experienced a few in his life. You're still young, man. You keep living. There's going to be some stuff coming your way. See, and this is what I had to do. As a pastor, here I am. I'll be 80, Master willing, February the 8th, next month of this year, 2024. You may be saying, surely, PJ, since this is an adult audience and we're having an adult conversation, surely, PJ, you're not thinking about having sex and everything. No, never. Not having sex. I just don't do that to do that. But I do need physical affection. I require it. Not only do I require it, I desire it. And I'm going to desire it more and more as I get older. As a matter of fact, my sex drives, my affinity to be with beautiful people, healthy, clean individuals to be intimate with is yet desirous to me. Now, if this is offensive to any of you, you're dead already. You just dead in go ahead. I one of the and I can speak about it because Charles is gone now. Charles Stanley died, and I remember specifically when his wife did a flip flop on him, and I couldn't believe that. She just got tired of living with a preacher. My wife got to that point too. She told me, she said, "Come on, let's have some fun." I said, "There's no room for fun in this world. I have to bring another lesson, another message, another this, another that." My whole life was spent telling the truth about that book, the Bible. And at the same time, because of the makeup of my wife and I did not have a healthy sexual relationship with my wife. I did not. That's why I called this thing Confessions. I didn't say I didn't have a healthy, loving relationship with my wife. I had a loving relationship with her and never wanted to be with another woman for my whole life. I tell my male friends that come around me today, they said, "Did you ever have?" There's only one that I try to have a relationship with, a beautiful black woman after Lucy passed away, but it didn't work because she had never proved to me that she loved me. A lot of women wanted to physically be with me. I, as a pastor, did not want to be with them. There was no reason why I would want to be with these women. And when I talk with heterosexual men, or if you want to, straight men, they say, "What you mean you didn't want to be with her? She wanted you to." I'm a man that is gay, a man that God called to be a preacher. No contradiction. No contradiction. I listen to a lot of my young gay pastors. They write these books, they put on these seminars, and they say, "Oh, they're struggling with the church." and how they were to live out their sexuality and their intimacy and teach the word of God at the same time. I would hope that if there are any gay pastors out there that can listen to me, young men, that God touched them in their hearts. God didn't make a mistake when he called you to preach, and he wants you to preach all of his word. And if somebody gets on your case because of who you're attracted to, that's their problem. You can't help who you're attracted to. I cannot help who I'm attracted to. Now, let me get down to the nitty gritty. Let me make some ladies mad at me, or should I say, angrier, more angrier at me. When I was pastor in the church, Pastor John never looked at any one female in the church. There used to be a woman used to come to the church that I pastored. She wore sandals all the time, sat in the front row, and she had a gold ring on one of her toes. And she'd fold her legs like this, and just flip her toes around. And so since the pulpit was right there and I'm right in front, so one Bible study night, I called her in my study. I told Lucy, I'm gonna have to talk to this woman because she's getting on my nerve. No, I didn't tell the deacons. I didn't tell nobody else to speak with her. I called her in the office and I forget her name. I think, no, the name just came to mind, but I'm not gonna say it because she still may be alive and she may see this and she may not like it. But I said, why are you doing your toes up in my face like that when I preach? Why are you doing that? Oh, I'm sorry. Does that offend you? I said, I'm not impressed. And I said, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to hug you. And she was fine. She was beautiful. She was, clean, beautiful. And I said, I am in that building on Sunday morning for one reason, to proclaim this word. I'm not interested in any female but the one that I have. And I'd appreciate if you put some shoes on your feet and stop doing that. And this woman did what I told her to do. And I thanked her for it afterwards. I said, thank you. She didn't disrupt my preaching. It was just silly of her making a fool of herself because she couldn't, nothing she could do could make me want to be with her. Nothing. I've never had the thought in my mind to have an adulterous relationship since I was with Andalusia for 35 years. It never entered into my mind with a man or a woman to have any kind of thing while I was under the auspices of the cloth. And needless to say, let me say this right now, I have met many preacher friends of mine, and some of them are still alive. And they still doing that, laughing about it, making jokes about it. I can't do it. Never was able to do it, never will be able to do it because God is so in me that I can't. But what God does is, and I'm speaking for the gay ministers, the black gay ministers, I don't care what you say, you are going to be attracted to one of these human beings on this planet. Just, you see, the Catholics were wrong. He said, if you're a priest, you can't have those kind of things with nobody. They were wrong. Catholic Church is wrong. Any religion, in my opinion, that teaches that a man is not supposed to have any kind of familiar feelings for other human beings in an intimate way, I think that faith is pushing it to the curb, because we're talking about human beings. Yeah, I may be 80 in February, but I still get excited about what I like, what I see. I still like it when I go out on a date and we hang out and we talk. I like that. I don't stay in my house and my study all crammed up here at going on 80, worrying about what calamity is going to hit me next. I have too much life to live. And I practice a part of my faith in God a little different from what neo Christianity teaches or what um, fundamentalist Christianity teaches. They used to call me a fundamentalist Christian. I told them, I'm no fundamentalist, nor am I a Puritan. I am under the restraint of God to preach the truth. And that's what I do. Denominational wise, I was not Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian, Charismatic, Baptist, anything. God called me to preach that word, I had to preach it. For those of you brothers that listen to me in the penal system, listen to me. Pastor John, because he came out as gay in 2016, has not abandoned the faith. He still believes in what he preached on YouTube. I'm glad your chaplain is allowing you to see that I am the same man and believe the same things. I just do not believe in what organized religion has done to the Christian faith. And to prove that point, there are so many men that were born just the way that I was born. See, we're living in 2024. We're not living in 1960. Let me choose the year 1971, when my second daughter was born. See, we're not living back there in a world where it was a hell of a thing for a gay man to get a job when he went. Oh, and you better not tell nobody you transgender. You better not. You better keep your mouth shut. And to this day, I'm a gay man, but I do not necessarily concur or believe. Listen to me. I do not believe that there is a woman in me hiding out trying to come out. Now, maybe one of these days on my webcast, I will explain as adults can, because I'm an educated black man, and I can explain. You know what? I said a couple of months ago that I like Geno Jennings. I like the way, Geno Jennings reminds me of me back in the day, because he believed about this book the way I believe. And he's adamant about standing up for that. Now I got younger men around, and I don't like Geno, and I know I love all black men that allow the power of God to touch them and for them to speak on the benefit of the living Lord. Now, phony, I don't have time for. And y'all, see, because I see myself from this contraption. Y'all see that I'm losing weight, thinning out, getting rid of all that nasty fat. And those of you guys that are incarcerated in jail, come on, exercise. Get out on the yard and push up, brothers. Don't give up. Don't be listening to what anybody else says. Love yourself. And, listen to this. Love yourself enough that let me talk to my gay brothers and sisters. Love yourself enough to know that if you don't take care of yourself, and if you don't stop doing stupid behind stuff, you're going to get sick. Be careful. That's what lust does. Lust brings you into harm's way. You can look at movies and see how people's lives are ruined because of lust. You're going to feel passion in your life. You're going to feel like, darn, I want to be with a woman this week. I got to be with a woman. Where can I, and I want to speak to you brothers that want to be with a woman. Be careful how you choose a woman. I won't get into the details, but I was awoken this morning by a phone call of a man that was telling me about the disastrous result of a woman, and I happen to know this woman and how this woman has brutally dehumanized the male partner that she was with. And I had to tell this person, don't let this person wreck your life by their recklessness. Same thing for you ladies. Don't let a man wreck your life. Time for all of us to grow up. I was thinking about something else when I look at the black population. We're not making children anymore. And for you gay guys that watch me, I want you to listen to me. If you had any sense, you make some babies. And then if you had at least one, and I'm going to tell you why I said that. Why did I say that? Our tribe of black people is shrinking. We do not produce children that are healthy because we are not healthy. We are indulging in too many different kinds of drugs. Here a couple of days ago, a well-known country singer went to Congress trying to get them to do something about this dope that's out there that over 200 people a day in this country are dying from. And when you look at the city of Philadelphia and see these people bent over, black, white, Asian, everything, drugs coming in through the southern borders of our country. Don't be getting mad at Governor Abbott. He's trying to preserve what's left of sanity in the state. He got a point. You know, we choose these political. Oh, and don't be surprised that Donald Trump, he's going to win every Republican primary and everything because most people in this country think like Donald. White people, I'm saying. That's all right. Because I have a way to make it in this country also. I was born here in 1944. I'm still alive. I had a man come by, my washing machine went out after, 30 years? And so I had a brother come out. I had a brother of mine that used to be a member of my church. I contacted him and he said, oh, I got somebody that can come by and take the old washer out. So this was a difficult month for me because I had to pay for the service and I'm on a very limited income. I had one man come by the house and said, how much money do you spend on food? And I told him, and he contacted a county agency or something for my EBT card because they were only giving me $25 a month on my EBT card. With that, I was buying potatoes and vegetables and stuff like that. And he fixed me up and I had filled these because I don't know how to do these things anymore. I don't know how to do them. When you get older, all this stuff changes. And these youngsters, man, they can pick up this phone. As a matter of fact, what he did is he showed me, I'll show you, he showed me this app on my phone that came up and it showed me what my EBT balance is. You see that? That's all I had on it. He said, John, that's not. And so I said, oh, I keep that in case I want a sandwich or something and I'm out. and I can do that. He, that young man fixed me up, just went to my phone and fixed me up. And the young man happened to be a gay man. I don't care if you're gay or straight. See, I don't let those things bother me. No, I don't sleep with that young man, don't want to. He said, you need more food. Now, it's not as if I'm hungry. I got food in the fridge, but you know the kind of man I am? Listen, you listen to my preaching when I say, be content with the things that you have. PJ is content with the things that he has. PJ don't need a whole bunch of food, a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of nothing, but how to work this machine and how to come on here and talk to you people that I love immensely. That's all PJ need. So primarily I'm talking with you brothers in jail. I don't like to you incarcerated. That you brothers that have been deprived of your freedom. I'm talking to you, and I want you to know I have not changed about God. I am still a hard, firm believer. I am not a believer in all that these theologians talk about in the Bible because I'm asking the simple question, how do they know that? Often I think of it, and don't get offended because I'm not trying to change the Bible. And all praises and honor to Allah and to the Muslim faith, my brothers, my cousins. I call the Muslims my cousins because I really love the way my Muslim brother loves God and cries out to God when he suffers, whereas my people are starting to cuss God. Don't curse God because you're suffering. Cry out to him like the Muslims do. Being on your chest. And that's what I did. When I grew up, I was a young preacher. I would have to go and preach a certain thing. And, Lucy wasn't inclined to be with me like that because I wasn't a very manly man that a woman would love to be around. I was more of a compassionate, loving, gentle, tender husband. The man that came by to put my washing machine, because my washer went out and he had to bring in another washer. And I said, how are you going to get this thing in here? Only to come to find out after the man did the work that he had been to prison. I didn't know that he had been to prison because when I saw him working, I said, oh my God, brother, it is good to see a brother that's not lazy calling for someone to help, even though I had another man help him lift it from the ground to bring it in my back entrance to my home to put it in. And it's a beautiful used washer that a young brother helped me get at basically, I got a washer for about $100 because that's all I had to do was pay this guy to put it in. And I was washing clothes, and I'm not, hey, listen, I was washing clothes, brothers and sisters, by hand. I have a double kitchen sink, and I had a white bucket, and I got one of them Tide pods, put the clothes in them, washing, and even my own children said, Daddy, you don't have to do that. We'll buy you another washer. I said, nope, 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 nope. I love these brothers. They come over here sometime. They got dirty clothes. They got a bag full of dirty clothes. I told you we can handle the homeless thing overnight if all of us start living out the truths of the faith that we used to believe in this country. All these people up and down my street own homes. Now you multiply this street by all the other streets in LA. And then when you see all those people up against the curb under the freeway overpass and all that, and you look at that and you say, oh my God, look at our society. You know what? We can alleviate that by taking them in. Say, come on, man. I'll let you wash 2 loads and dry them in my washer and dryer. And while you wash them in the washer and dryer, sit down in the patio room out back, and I'll bring you lunch. But you want a meatloaf sandwich or a chicken sandwich? Or you want a salad? All right, what you want to drink? No, I'm not going to bring you alcohol because I don't know what your bent is. All right? Now think about every neighbor in Los Angeles doing that. Everybody that could do that for the homeless people that you see. Think about the love, man. That's what my religion taught me, brothers. That's why when I preach that stuff and you see it on my YouTube live, that just wasn't me making up something to say. And the reason that we so messed up in this country, and I believe that this country is going to go down literally the toilet, is because we have put our religion, our faith in God aside. Why do you think the Hispanics are coming here from the other countries, coming across the border, Mexico, California border, Texas, all that? Why do you think they're coming here? They're not coming here just to get free food, free hospitalization. I know how my Texan brothers feel. I know how Governor Abbott feels. I know how the ranchers feel. But why do you think those people coming here? Because it has gotten so immoral in their country that the cartels and cartel brothers know this. I'm not bugging you. I love you guys. I mean, that's just another way for you to govern. I understand. The rich people that run your country is corrupt. So you saying, well, we're going to show them what corruption really is. All right. So, because I don't want the cartel sending nobody here to the greenhouse killing me because I ain't said nothing about them. But I understand it. And I understand why a lot of people from those countries are coming here because they're trying to get the tail end of something that is running out. I told this friend of mine in prison, I told him, when you come out, it's going to be very difficult for you as a black man to get a job because they're hiring these Guatemalans, Salvadorians, Venezuelans, whatever, wherever they're coming from in the northern Americas, they coming to the United States to feed their children, to at least get a chance, send their children to school, go to school so they can promote up. You know, when the young man called the county offices for me, I had to call an office to try to get a little bit more food on my EBT card because, to tell the truth, I'm running out. And no, I didn't say that and so I can get money from you guys. You know PJ better than that. I never do that. I love you. Keep your money. You all right. And I appreciate you. Don't say, oh, poor old black man with white hair. Don't do that. Please don't. Because see, you crazy. Wait a minute. See, I can do what a Salvadorian can't do. All right? And I just did it. I just pulled a bottle of this stuff, and I'm not going to show you what brand it is, out of my refrigerator in my office. I also have fresh water to drink. These people coming across the border don't have that. The people that are homeless, if they have a bottle of this, it's not cool because it can't keep it warm, cool that is, parked under a freeway. When I make a sandwich, I can put some dill pickles on it. See, I'm in America. I've been here my whole life. I don't need food. I don't need anything. I'm rich. You understand me? I'm rich. You're rich. You're rich, Mark. And until we see ourselves genuinely as God sees us, we're going to be a whining, belly aching, rambunctious group of individuals that need to get their lives together. Not to you preachers. And I want to talk to my gay preachers because I've met quite a few since I've come out as a gay man, and I might as well meet people that are like me. Before I came out, I met preachers that were not gay. At least I didn't think they were, because I didn't go around looking for find out who's gay. I was listening to see who is going to, and I'm talking to my brothers in the penal institutions because I don't want you to stop listening and looking at my clips. All of them are worthy for you to get your life better. Let me tell you something. Christianity as a faith, first century style, works. This 21st century bunk, Joel Osteen and all this kind of crap, and you've seen what happened to the prosperity gospel. And then, needless to say, I saw that latest video. Have you ever been swallowed? That's fakery. That's fakery. You have to know fakery when you see it. I was telling you 20, 25 years ago that that dude was fakery. And now when this swallowing thing comes out and the accusations behind him, dang, man, is there anything holy in this world, in this country? So, if you're going to embrace God, embrace Him, number one, for yourself. Never set a preacher up as your hero. Oh, he's my favorite preacher. Because before you know it, who is that? I think that's somebody. Whoop, whoop. It must be somebody coming to my house. I just had to look. See, because when someone pulls up in front of my house, uh, I need to know who it is. You don't believe me? You see that white car? That's a white car, isn't it? That's in front of my house. Now, I don't know who that is unless they reveal to themselves. Maybe, maybe they're coming to see me. I don't know. And if they're not, they're not. You guys, what am I talking about? I'm having a ball, Mark. I'm just here at home, being nosy, taking care of my business. If they're coming to my house, I will hear my doorbell go ding dong, and I would tell them I can't come to the door because I'm doing a cast, and they will have to leave and go where they are. But I don't know the car. Now, what I was saying to you preachers, if you claim to be a representative of the Most High, and the reason that I've changed my mind on a lot of things in this Bible, that I was taught to believe all 66 books of the Bible and everything in it, since I have retired from the pulpit, or I'm still reading and I'm looking into things, and I've found a few things, not a lot, but a few things in this book that had to be contrived by someone with a foul agenda. Now, let me get into some of the things, and I didn't think about turning to it prior. I'll try to, there's goes Ollie. I'll try to, um, wait, I did hear, oh yeah, that's who I thought it was. Okay, um, they have entry. Okay. Um, I was Let me read this verse, and then you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I am reading from Romans chapter 4, and I want to, because I have it highlighted in my Bible. Wrong page, right? Yeah, there it is. Verse 17. I have it highlighted, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to see if my view has changed about this over the years. And so it's going to be interesting that you're able to go through this with me. Okay. As it is written, a father of many nations have I made you, in the sight of him whom he believed, even God, who gives life to the dead and calls into being that which does not exist. Now, this is talking about how God has favorship over his people. Let's break it down. As it is written, therefore, they're saying that they had a writ before the writer writ this, which led them to a God that was sovereign. And that's what this verse is saying. A father of many nations have I made you. Now, first of all, you have to answer the question, who was he talking to? He was talking to Abraham. And when he made Abraham the father of many nations, in what sense? He wasn't just talking about his bloodline, he was talking about his spiritual line. Hear me, the father of many nations. That means that many nations will be living under the auspices of faith, Father Abraham, that you live under. What did God tell Abraham? You're going to have a son, you and Sarah, your wife. What did Abraham and Sarah say? How can we have a baby and we 90 years old? And when you study the book and look at it, you see Hagar, the Egyptian woman, coming into the picture because Abraham's wife, Sarah, did not believe God. That's why I say so often, don't listen to a woman that got her mind made up to let you know what she believes. Sarah said, well, God must have meant for you to take Hagar and raise seed with her because I ain't had no baby in years and I'm 90 and I don't think I can do it. Well, when you look at that and you see that, if you didn't know what the father of many nations were, you need a theologue to tell you how that took place. Because Abraham was the father of faith, faithful Abraham. Why? He was told to leave Ur of the Chaldees when he was a nomadic sheep herder and go into Palestine where Jesus was to be born. And God said, I will lead you there and I will show you. And through him doing that, Jesus is born. And look at all the nations of the world that believe in Jesus today. Father of many nations. That verse hasn't changed to me in all the almost 80 years that I've been alive. I know what it means. I know nothing is by chance. But when I read the verse in the Bible that says, slave, obey your masters, I pause because I don't live in an environment where we allow slaves to be here. And there is no man, my master, but Yahweh. Now, men can come in here with black suits on, face masks, billy clubs, and grenades and make me unconscious and kill me. They have Lord control over my body, but not my spirit. I've also learned over the years, and I have to slow down because when I do my webcast now, I get emotionally into it. My head is into it. My body's, I am feeling, oh, I know what happened. I didn't take my meds. Poor me. I don't know why I do that. I let the whole day go without taking my meds. Now, you got to excuse me as I bend over here. I've never done this, but I'll show it to you. These are my meds. And I got to take them. Because when you get old up there in age, you got to take your meds. Now, why do I take the meds? Because unlike what the late Fred Price used to teach, well, if you believed in God, you wouldn't have to take no meds. You believe that God's going to heal you. Claim your healing. You don't need to take no meds. Yes, I do. What is this? How many do I have left? I have one more left in here after I take this. And these are my, I have to order some more from that infamous online store. I take my multivitamins. I take my vitamin C. See? Okay, I'm down to my last one here. I got to order some more of these. These are my blood pressure pills. See, when I didn't do this when I was pastoring the church. I didn't have to take all these. This is for my, what is it? Oh, come on. When I have too much. And this one are my iron tablets because when I went into the hospital for my prostate work and they had to give me blood. And doctor said, man, we almost lost you. I said, how'd you do that? And he says, your blood count went down. So they got me on iron and I have to take that. And I have to take these pills every day. I'm letting you watch me. Yep. Oh. When I empty that water, I got this. That's why the people coming over here to America across the border. Because they want to get this. They can't get that in their country. They're human beings. Why can't we share it? We got enough. Especially somebody want to come over here and work. All right, let's say that it come down to it that my street had to be paved again. And the city's running out of money. Okay. Build some shelter houses and have all these people coming across the border. Train them with the law of the magistrates. Give them the codes. We already have them working in this country. Add them to the workforce of America. Build our cities up, our parks, recreational areas, our beachfront areas, the houses. Give them a chance to live. Let all the brokers that are selling the land and renting the apartments for far too damn much money that people can't afford. I couldn't afford to stay unless I've been in here. I told the man to help put my washer in. He said, how long you been here? I told him, he said, you've been in this house over 50 years? Yep. Told him I raised two wonderful daughters, married to a wonderful Filipino lady, and still blessing people's lives. Now, here's the question that I want to ask you. Is your life a blessing to others? Because if it is not, why? And what are you doing in it? If you can't afford to be a blessing to others, you didn't understand the question. Yes, you can. It's as simple as you buying you a smoothie, you're out on lunch break, buying you a smoothie and you see a homeless person. You say, hey, can I buy you a smoothie? What is that homeless person going to say? Well, sure you can. Now, guess what God does? And guess where I learned this from? I learned this from this book right here. You give that person a smoothie and you see his face light up and you say, man, how you doing? I'm John. Put your hand out. Don't be afraid to shake his hand. Humans. Well, I can't touch him. I don't know where his hands have been. It's been in that tent. It's been on the ground. It's been up against a wall. Put your hand out. Shake his hand. How you doing? Oh man, it gets cold out here at night. Wait, I got just what you need. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Going up in your apartment, bring that quilt down. You know that quilt that your auntie gave you when your great grandmother died, and that's what grandma did. Is she made quilts. That's how she spent her time. Bring one of them seasoned quilts down and give it to that homeless man that told you that his coal wrapped up in that blanket. Confessions. I'm the same John. I'm the same PJ. When you see me preach when my hair was black, and I tell them people how much I love them and what I do for them, I'm the same dude, brothers. I'm the same dude. That's why I'm telling that guy that the guy that's getting out of prison, you make sure you come and see me, boy. You make sure you come in. I'm the same dude. The man that put my washer up, he was in prison. I should have known where he got his skills from. I tipped him $40. How could I tip him $40 if I needed some more food on my EBT card? It is because I am selfless. I don't live for myself. I live for others. I believe what I preached. If you have a pastor that doesn't believe what he preached and he doesn't preach this, he's not a pastor. He's not a pastor. And for those of you young men, gay or straight, to call yourselves pastors, be careful what you claim you are. I have in the back of my mind, I will not mention a name, a man that recently went to jail. And one of the reasons that he went to jail so poorly is because he lied. I don't lie. I don't have to. Lying is a coward's way out of facing reality. Somebody walked up to me and said, are you gay? Yeah, I am. Aren't you ashamed? I said, are you ashamed of being ungay? I said, let me ask you that. What do you mean? Are you ashamed that that cow that you married, call your wife, is bleeding you every day and you hate it, but you can't tell her? See, that's the way I roll. Not gonna play these games. And those of you gay men that are being intimidated by people because of your preference to be with the same sex, in not even a sexual way, just going to have dinner. I called a friend of mine the other day and I said, you know, I don't drive anymore. And I said, but I still like to go out to dinner and I like to go out to dinner with you. And I said, and maybe we can go out and see a movie after that. This wasn't a woman, this was a man. I said, we can have one of those stimulating intellectual conversations, you know, kicking it. And if you can't do that, you're enslaved by somebody else's insanity. My confession is I'm the same Pastor John I've always been. It's just that I do my life far different from the way I used to when I was a pastor of the OBC, the Olivet Baptist Church in Los Angeles. If you really want to research what they done with the money that they had left after they lost the $850,000 building that we got at a great price. They bought a house in Watts and changed the house into a church, and they call that the Olivet Baptist Church. And you guys want to know what my attempt was? What was I doing? In all of my preaching and everything and my teaching on there, I was trying to say this is how we survive the downfall that's coming. I don't believe in an apocalyptic trauma session, but I believe through natural fiat, this country's democracy plan is going to crumble. The money that we're living off of is not real. It's not real at all. We exist, thank God, because we got a strong military, strong scientific medical background, the university system in this country. And I know some of my black nationalist brothers may disagree with me. I'm sorry. I know a young black man, he wants to go to a black college, a black university from the South. And I asked the young man, I said, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you leave Southern California area? You got UCLA, SC, you got the Cal State University system here, graduate school programs. You got Fuller, if you want to go to a theological institution. You got Fuller in Pasadena, Biola University, Talbot Theological Seminary, and La Mirada. Why would you leave Southern California and go to a school? The only reason that I would go to a school in the South run by my black brothers is to get in touch with my blackness. But I make more money if I got a collegiate degree from USC, UCLA, Cal State University system all over this state. Why do you think these people want to come into this state? I don't understand a man that would choose something that's not going to. You need to go somewhere where it's going to make you more money and make you and put you in a very secure place to take care of your life. But if you just want to go to a black college to say you went there, I went to visit them a number of years ago. One of the first things that I noticed were uncut lawns. This is a university, and the lawns look like they haven't been cut. Well, they don't have that much money in the budget for that. What? Why? And there need to be a lot of these donors, black basketball players, football players, female and male, to give $1 million a year into the black university and college system. Then maybe I tell the student to go there because your dorms would be kept up, the plumbing would be working. But if they are barely making it on money, and then they're going to have you join the Sigma, Flap, Blop, Dip, Blop, and all that. And you're a member of the sorority or the fraternity. But what good is it doing you to make more money when you're competing in the world of ideas to live? Talking to you. And you black gay pastors, male or female, because female's not going to listen to me. I tell them that God never called a female to preach and everybody gets mad at me. Get mad at me all you want. You want me to turn to it and show you? Because I can show you. Okay, I'll look for it. Let me see if I still. All right. I know you're going to get mad at me. Well, I don't accept that. I thought, well, that's what I've done. I don't have to go to it. Certain things I don't want to accept, I don't accept. But that woman thing doesn't have anything to me to be with me getting stronger spiritually. To hear a woman preach, I'm just looking at her and I'm saying, yeah, that's true. I know it. I know whether they're lying to me or telling the truth because I know the Bible. I don't need to sit in front of a Bible teacher and learn anything from them. I just want to see if they're going to tell the truth to the people that they're corresponding with. I remember when Fred Price was alive. I didn't turn to Ever Increasing Faith to see what he was teaching. I knew that was bunk. I turned to it to see how many fools were sitting in front of him gobbling that lie up. And I was an apologist, and so I had an obligation to God to help my people and tell them the truth. That's what I do. That's what I do. It's not complicated, it's easy. Confessions, confessions. I'm the same PJ. I'm the same Pastor John. Wait a minute. Uh, you attended Biola? Oh, you attended a black college. Okay. Oh, Mark says that he attended a black college and he said it was a nightmare. Dorms were in poor condition. Teachers not showing up to class. Right. Because it's a black institution. And oh man, them, you know what they say. Oh, them they don't uh-uh. I'm gonna let this young man that plans to go to one of them institutions see this live. I'm gonna tell him to watch it. And then when he reads your comment, maybe he'll take my word for it. But guess what he was telling me? He was telling me, well, I'm going to be the guest of somebody and they're going to take me down there and show me the ropes. You know what? And he got a mentor in front of him that would tell him the truth. I don't understand these young people today. Uh, well, of course they mismanage. Look, the King Foundation, you know, this man that died a couple of days ago that was running the King, who's going to be running it now? And I remember when they were fighting over who was going to run that thing in Atlanta. Oh my God. I know you're telling the truth. Yes. Yes. Yeah. What? Man, listen. If you don't think now and do things for yourself, yeah, I am loyal and faithful to the excellence of what my tribe produces. I got a picture of the classroom in my garage that I had when I had the classroom, all the books set up and the tables and the chairs and everything was set up. Man, pristine. I have a video on my YouTube page called The Classroom. You watch that video, that's the way that classroom looked every night when I had 10 to 15 students come in and study theology with me from all over this city. I even had some students that were not black. And when they had to use the toilet, I said, Lucy, we don't have a toilet in this garage. They're going to have to come in the house. They were blessed enough to leave and go in my house and use the same toilet me and my family use because I was no better than them. Paid the money out of my own pocket. I paid one brother named Carlos about $5,000 to fix up my garage because I was desperately, I want you brothers that's incarcerated, to listen to me know why I do what I do. I didn't do that to try to earn no money. I said I want to respect my brothers and sisters as I teach them in this colonialized book that was given to our tribe when we came over here as slaves, to let them know that we can gain the victory from knowing that the original treaties of this book was not written in this country. And when the slave owners got it, they just used it to manipulate us and to control us. That's it. I love my life. And I want those of you guys that got some life left to love yours. And don't let other people sabotage you. I love it. I love it. I love it. What else is new, Mark? Yes, they get the money, and the people that get the money say, "Oh, now I can get that." I can speak about a preacher that I knew because he went to Biola Talbot like I did. And he pastored a church called the Maranatha Bible Church. Maranatha Bible Church here in Los Angeles. I forget the boy's name right now. But he had that huge church down on King Boulevard between, I forget, King Boulevard and Buckingham, between Buckingham and Crenshaw. That property in the Crenshaw shopping area. He had a lot of donations given to him because a lot of blacks was joining his church because he, like myself, was an exegete. He wasn't a hooper. Billy Ingram was his name. He died years ago. Matter of fact, I had a couple of his members come over to the church that I was pastoring once the scandal started, talking about money scandal. It was over a light green Mercedes. And his wife and him got to battling. And I understand that when he died, there was a check worth a lot of money on his desk because he had plans on before the Kaiser or the city bought that land and did it. There's a lot of things that we churchmen had planned to do to help our communities. But when you try to get the people together to do it, one or two of them clowns would take the money and dog it. They dog the money. So that's why I was telling this guy, don't go to a black college. You better study where the money goes. Wait a minute. Oh, I know you won't. Believe me. I'm going to push this book. Oh, here it is. Powernomics. The National Plan to Empower Black America. Claude Anderson. You need to buy some book and read it, and then you will know why certain things are the way they are. Claude says in the acknowledgments of his book, he says that I'm deeply indebted to those individuals who over the centuries have challenged American slavery and Jim Crow semi-slavery and decried the wealth and inequities between blacks and whites with which racism produced. I am also indebted to the black heroes who called attention to the inappropriate behavior patterns of black people. My writings are infused with their observations and efforts. You see, I'm not the only one that criticizes my own people. Many of us criticize us. I wouldn't send my offspring to a black college unless that thing is at the highest priority level. Now, if you got to make more money to survive for your family and your life by going to a white university, you better go there. But you can go to the black ones to dance and to get in touch with your roots and all that. But to make some money, you better go to SC or UCLA. Both of my daughters are graduates from UCLA. I'm not playing with it. I'm not just talking smack, guys. Hey. But look, I got 10 more minutes before this thing is over. 2024 PJ's Confessions. I want to show you something too, because in case you don't believe me, and I thought that I get it ready so that I could give. When you go to my webpage, to John Coleman, and this is just a sample of all the stuff that you can see. This is just a sample. I'm going to try to. But you can go to my YouTube page and find that. I kind of missed out. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, Mark, for tuning in. And oh, Mark says something about Claude Anderson. He says, I have his last book. And wait a minute. I have his last book that he came out with in 2018, The Black History 101 Questions. Yeah, you never thought to ask. Because Claude is a modernist who looked at life for what it had to offer. And he spoke to you in the real. And most black scholars and people reject him because he makes you keep it real. That's why I love reading his book. I'll try to get that book, Mark. Sounds like a great book. And for those of you that came to view this after the fact, thank you. I am doing pretty good, and I covet your prayers and your kind thoughts. Thanks a lot, and have a great day. Mark, remember, you promised to come and see me for Super Bowl. Uh, I believe it's a great book. Remember, you promised to come and watch the Super Bowl with us, and so I'll be looking for you. And for the rest of you, God bless you. And I got to tell you, go Detroit. Go Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions. Detroit.